Hi guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plunk production. It's been a while since I've recorded, uploaded, shot, whatever you call it, a video, and there are reasons for that which we'll get to in this video. I do have with me the remnants of a cup of coffee. There's about maybe a quarter left because I just got done playing some games with Luke and some other friends online. My good friend Luke, if you don't know who he is, I mention quite often in these videos, but just got done playing some Helldivers 2, then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Has a bunch of fun, hence why this time for a cuppa. Time for a cuppa? I mean, I suppose this is now time for a cuppa. This cuppa is almost done with, shall we say. But I thought I'd record this video because there's a few things I want to talk about in this now time for a cuppa. I've now christened it a time for a cuppa, so it is now a time for a cuppa. Got a few things to talk about. As you can see, we are in this this framing, this background. You can see my TV, my Sky Glass TV. I'm in the background. I was watching a camping video, which I've gotten into watching camping videos recently, kind of strangely, in a weird way, over the last few months. So, you know, just discovered that particular person's channel, so I was just relaxing after some gaming, watching some camping content. So why has there not been a video uploaded for a while? Well, that's because I've misplaced my card reader, to be completely honest with you. So the card that I use currently for my GH4 upstairs is this card, which is a Lexar 64 gig 120 megs per second card. The reason why this is the card actually came with it. So this was in the camera.
I'm not sure about that.
Excuse me. I'm going to unplug the Echo device so it doesn't interrupt me again. All things can happen in these videos. But yeah, this was actually in the camera when I received it, which is kind of funny because I got a bonus SD card when the camera arrived from CX. But the reason why this is a particularly decent card for that camera is that camera can do 100 megs per second recording. It can do 200 megs per second recording if you want to go that far. So you need a high-speed card like this. If I use one of my micro SD cards with the adapter, I think the SD card themselves is a fast enough card. It's just the adapter isn't anything to write home about. So I get read errors on the camera, basically about 2-3 minutes into recording. It flashes up on the screen, there's a card read error, and then we'll just stop the recording at that point. This records fine. You can chuck most things at this. Probably not the 200 megabit recording or the 4K recording. I probably wouldn't recommend chucking at this, but any other form of recording you can chuck at this and it's absolutely fine. However, I've lost my SD card, my USB 3 SD card reader, in which this reads this rather well. The laptop you're sat on right now does have an SD card reader, but that belongs to my housemate. So I probably could ask to borrow it to take the footage off of here every so often and stuff like that, but you know how it is. So yeah, I either need to buy a new SD card reader, which I really don't want to do, to be honest, because the chances are, knowing my luck, when I buy a new one, I'll find the old one. It always happens that way, but I may have to, because there is some footage on there I want to get off, or rather some audio, more specifically, I want to get off of there, because there is a video that I do wish to upload. So that's why there hasn't been any videos recently, but I'm sure they'll get back on track. So when it comes to, I think the last I left you off with, I was going to buy a whole load of Power Ranger Megazords this month, at the end of this month. Unfortunately, I had to tell the seller, I'm the buyer, the seller, that I didn't have the money, basically, which is the fact of the matter. A bill that I've been paying off, or I had in arrears for the last few months was going to come down for this month going forward, but it didn't come down quite as much as I thought it would. Plus, I kind of was hoping to have saved about £50 to £100 this month going into payday, which is this Thursday. It's currently Monday morning, 5 to 1 a.m. on Monday the 25th of March 2024, just as context for that. So this Thursday I get paid. I was hoping to have £100 to £50, £50 to £100 give or take, to take into next month. I don't have that. I didn't manage to save that money. So long story short, I had to tell the person, sorry, but I can't buy the Megazords. I have said to him if he still has them for sale come May, I might be able to stump up the money for them in May, but as of right now, unfortunately, can't do that. Just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So what am I buying this month? So I already have the limited edition Blu-ray set of Game of Thrones all 8 seasons lined up. Somebody on Facebook Marketplace has that put to one side for me, and I'm going to be buying that on Thursday. In fact, the guy lives in a next city or town over that would have required me to take a do apologise, would have taken a ferry for me to go over and see and get picked it up. He's actually left a box up around his mum's that's actually on the bus route home from work. So on Thursday I'll be popping around there, grabbing that. He's held that on to me, and he's only going to charge a tenner extra for holding on to it for me. So I'll be picking that up on the way home from work. I was going to this month also be picking up Game of Thrones on 4K as well, the 4K box set, because CX have it for about £135. I was going to sell my individual Game of Thrones Blu-ray sets to fund part of that, but there are other things that I probably need to buy this month. I need to catch up with my MetaQuest 3 payments, and what I mean by that is I need to pay twice in 1 month for the installments on that, for reasons I'm not necessarily going to go massively into, but I probably need to do that this month. It's probably the best thing to do. With that, also I am considering buying the Doctor Who The Collection Season 5, Series 15. I had it pre-ordered for this month to come on the 24th of March when it was going to be released, which was actually yesterday. Released on a Sunday. That doesn't make sense actually, but anyway, that's what Amazon said. But I had to cancel that pre-order, so I might end up repurchasing that on Thursday. Obviously it's not going to now arrive until Tuesday, given the bank holiday weekend that's coming up, but hey ho, at least I'll then have it in my possession. I'm either considering buying, well, I am going to be buying some form of so I might not be buying Power Ranger Megazords this month, sorry, but I could be buying some Thunderbirds toys. So I was browsing through Facebook Marketplace, which I do on a very regular basis, and up popped a Thunderbirds Are Go Tracy Island set. And for those of you who don't know, way back in the day, in the early 90s, Matchbox released a Thunderbirds Tracy Island set, and you had to buy the island and the little vehicles, each Thunderbirds, separately. It was really expensive. Thunderbirds Are Go, I think it was back in 2015? I think it was back in 2015. They had a new Thunderbird show called Thunderbirds Are Go. It was computer generated, and actually did really well. It ran for like 3 or 4 seasons, something like that, and people really enjoyed it. And of course a whole new toy line got released as a result of that series. One of those toy lines was sort of an an evolution of the Tracy Island set that came in back in 1991, and that got released in 2015. Again, you had to buy the vehicles and the island itself separately, and you were looking at the best part of £160 if you wanted to buy both together, because the vehicle set was about £60 and the Tracy Island set was about £60 as well. People were selling it on Facebook Marketplace for a lot less than that, and quite a few of them are popping up recently. I'm guessing that there's probably another Tracy Island set on the horizon, or has just been released, and a lot of them are buying that, hence why they're selling this other set. But there's a few people I've got sort of hopefully setting this, set to one side for me. So it's the Tracy Island set, and it has Thunderbirds 1, 2, 3, and depending on which one I'm going for, could even have Thunderbird 5, Thunderbird Shadow, which Thunderbird Shadow was an exclusive Thunderbird to the Thunderbirds Are Go series, and could have Fab 1 car as well, which can transform into a flying car as well, which is part of the Thunderbirds Are Go. I'm trying to think if the flying car was an exclusive to Thunderbirds Are Go, or whether the original 60s Thunderbird series had a flying Fab 1 in it, and I can't remember. Fab 1 is basically Penelope, Lady Penelope's car, which is a Thunderbird. It was fully established in the 1966 Thunderbirds movie that Fab 1 is also a Thunderbird as well. I'm just going to take some more coffee, swig of the old coffee. Depending on what one I go with, because there is somebody sort of Bristol way that does have all of that, plus Thunderbird Shadow and Fab 1 and all that, plus some extra bits and bobs, and a supersized version of Thunderbird 2, sorry, and has two of both Thunderbird 1 and Thunderbird 3 randomly. If I'm able to arrange something with them, that would actually be really good, because that contains all of the vehicles that were ever released for the smaller version, and then comes with a supersized version of Thunderbird 2. I keep saying the plural when I mean singular. The only issue with that is they are in Bristol, and I'd have to arrange collection. Basically, they're not willing to ship it themselves, but they are willing to kind of arrange a date for it to be collected on. So that's an option. Just depending on how much postage would be on that. Basically, the train ticket alone is double the price, double the cost of what they're selling it for. So selling it for about £25. The train ticket alone would be £50. So that's obviously not an option. I do have a couple of other people that are holding it for one side for me as well. We'll see if I go with them. One that's literally a simple train trip away from me, and it's literally just down the road from the train station that they live, so that would be really easy. So we'll see where I go with that. But I'm looking to pick that up and show that off on video. I am also trying to source the original 1991 Tracy Island set as well, to have a comparison between the two. I grew up with Thunderbirds. My father is a massive Thunderbirds fan. He has the whole collection on DVD just down there, actually. And ironically, Joe Knighty is just next to it right now, which is another Jerry Anderson show. But I grew up with Thunderbirds, and I've always wanted that Tracy Island set when I was younger. So now that I'm an adult, obviously that Thunderbirds I'll Go Tracy Island set is kind of, it'd be a nice little display piece to have all the various Thunderbirds on it, and it has some interesting features, like you can press a button, and Thunderbirds 1 and 3 have like a column they rise up out of. It's pretty cool, actually. And I don't mind admitting I'm a self-proclaimed big kid. I mean, come on. Why not? why not? So I might be purchasing a Tracy Island set of some description. We'll see how that goes and how that pans out. A couple of them are willing to hold on to it for me. A couple of them have sort of said that if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then you know, contact us back when you're able to buy it, and we'll work out something. So we'll see where something goes with that. There was one other thing that I was looking to maybe get this month that just gone out of my head. My local CEX just have 2 of the Doctor Who the collection sets there at the moment. They have season 17, which I still need to pick up, which was a recent, I think it was season 17, was a recent re-release that they did, and it has season 26 as well there at the moment. So I might consider picking those up as well. We'll see how things sort of pan out, because I do want to keep some money to one side for something else. Game of Thrones on 4K will probably have to be kicked into May at this point. We'll see how things we'll see how things go with all the Thunderbirds stuff. But I think primarily I do need to focus on catching back up with my MetaQuest monthly amount, so to speak. And maybe buying Doctor Who Series 15. I did have a slight thought today of selling all of my Doctor Who the collection and just being done with it, but I'm actually enjoying collecting it. I am enjoying Classic Who quite a bit at the moment, so I think I'm going to carry on collecting them. And I think once the collection is all done, I think it'll be a really nice on the shelf to have all of Classic Who, and of course I'm also going to be collecting New Who New Who on Blu-ray as well. So that will probably be what's happening this month, and we'll see where the funds are at that point in time. So yes, it's bank holiday weekend this weekend, Good Friday and Easter Monday, and of course the weekend. I've got all 4 days off. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to the rest and respite that will come with that. I may have to do a bit of travelling, obviously, to pick up some of these things, depending on what happens and who has what. But we'll see when things go. But until next time, guys, please take care. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.